Facing death from cancer, this man created a clone of himself to protect his family. He had a deadly brain tumor that could kill him at any moment, but he had kept this a secret from his wife and child because his wife was already dealing with the deep trauma of her brother's death. He didn't want to push her into the same pain and loneliness again, so he contacted a secret company that creates human clones so that someone could take his place after he died and his family wouldn't fall apart. When he saw his clone for the first time, he was shocked. It looked exactly like him, breathed like him, but the thought of this clone being with his wife filled him with jealousy and rage. He decided to cancel the plan, but then he remembered his wife's smiling face, and with a heavy heart, he agreed to go through with this deadly deal. A few days later, he told his wife he had to leave for work and went to the secret company. There, his memories were transferred into the clone's brain using a special machine. For 6 hours, he relived his entire life, his first meeting with his wife, their love, their fights, and all the things he had ever said to her. When he woke up, the clone was also awake. It was exactly like him. Same words, same habits. Now came the real test. The clone video called his wife. The man watched everything while hiding behind a curtain. At first, the clone was nervous, but soon he started talking like he really was her husband. They talked lovingly. Seeing this, the real man's heart burned with pain. He couldn't bear it and angrily cut the call. The clone yelled at him, and a terrifying fight broke out between the two. Burning with jealousy and rage, Cameron suddenly collapsed as blood vessels in his brain started to rupture. But in his final moment, the clone caught him. After that night, the doctors forbade him from going home. The clone was sent in his place. When the man regained consciousness, he was shattered to see that the clone was a better husband and father than he had ever been. Over time, the clone even stopped wearing the camera lenses that were used to monitor the family, and now the man had no way of knowing what was happening with his wife and son. He began to live in fear. What if the clone hurt his family? One night, he escaped from the facility and secretly returned home. What he saw stunned him. His family was not only fine, they were happier than ever. Suddenly, the clone appeared behind him. They looked at each other, but this time, there was no hatred in their eyes, only shared pain. The clone knew his own end was near, so he offered the man one last night with his family. That night, the father woke up his sleeping son and talked with him for hours. Then he went to his wife, gently woke her up, and said he had a bad dream. She hugged him tightly, and he cried because he knew this would be the last night of his life. The next morning, he handed his wedding ring to the clone and said, "Take care of my family." Then he returned to the company. A few days later, the clone sent him a video. In it, his wife was saying, "I love you so much." Seeing his wife happy, he smiled and closed his eyes forever.